Hey everyone, it's Agnach here. Welcome to another video. After the new update, we've got a few troops that receive a new level. One of them is the Yetis and the Bullets. Therefore, one of the attacks that now has research is the Yeti Bowler attack. This is my army. I've got a couple of Super Wall Breakers, 5 Cocolons, 4 Healers, 6 Yetis, 3 Witches, 8 Bowlers, and a Headhunter, a few cleaning troops as well. With the spells, I've got 3 Rages, a Jump, 2 Freezes, and a Poison. And at the CC, I've got the double Yeti Valk Barb and a Rage with a Freeze. Now you can also bring the Log Launcher, the Wall Wrecker, or even a Blimp if you want, or sometimes as well even the Siege Barracks with hooks. However, I usually like using the Log Launcher or the Blimp for my legend attacks. So let's have a look at a couple of them. So this is the first attack and we're going against Gundok Saint. So I usually start with a Warden Walk on one of the corners. That's creating a bit of a funnel for the rest of my troops. On this base, I decide to start my Warden Walk closer to where the tank hole is. I don't want the Warden to get the tank hole. I'm going to be sending the Blimp for the tank hole, but by clearing the AD and everything, it kind of creates a better path for my Blimp towards the tank hole. Then I usually have the King and the Witches on the other side, creating the other side of the funnel, but on this occasion my King decided to join the party and go into the center of the base, while a couple of my Yetis and Bowlers decided to move away and go to the side. So they kind of swapped around. The Blimp did end up getting all the way to the tank hole. It goes down. I usually use one of my Rages for that Blimp just to make sure that that tank hole goes down. If you're doing a war and you can really plan your attack, then whatever, you can pretty much bring the Sneaky Goblins into your Blimp, and they can bring the tank hole down without having to use the Rage for them. So then you can use the Rage, or you can bring a different spell for somewhere else in the attack. The Yetis and the Bowlers are pretty strong. I do believe that I find the Bowlers to be a lot stronger than what they used to be. The Yetis seem very much of a muchness, but they do have quite a fair bit of punch, and they do end up getting rid of some of the bases. Now I've just started a new Legends League season, so a lot of these bases aren't gonna be fully max. However, I have tried it on fully max bases and it still works. Here we have another base that is very similar to some of the Legend League bases that we see nowadays, and the same thing, the tank hole is on the left hand side, so I start with my Warden on the left hand side, creating that bit of the funnel. Now what I do is, because I like angling him that way, over here I also want to get rid of one of the ADs just to make sure that it doesn't hit my Blimp. Then, as I said before, the King and the Witches on the right hand side, creating the other side of the funnel. You can use one of your Yetis if you don't want your King to start joining your main pack, but I usually don't care if he does or not. If he does, then I just send the Royal Champion or another Yeti with the Witches just for tanking. Then you put the Super Wall Breakers to open up the first layer. Then you put the Jump so that they can go into the center of the base, as well as sending the Blimp from behind to use the Warden ability to cover all of your troops and the Blimp, and then that gets rid of the tank hole. At least that way none of your troops have to go to the tank hole poison. Therefore it's really good, they won't die through the poison. Over here we've got the Royal Champion just clearing up the rest of the defenses. We still have a few Yetis alive. We still have a Bowler or 2, and the Queen is still alive, about to die, but we still have her ability, so she's gonna survive the rest of the attack. The Royal Champion can get rid of the last defense. We still have plenty of Yetis, so I'm pretty happy that this attack has come back. Really like the Yetis and the Bowlers. However, you do need to do a bit of a funnel. Now here we have a teaser base, which is very famous in Legends, so I do the same thing. The Warden again close to where the tank hole is, just to create that bit of a funnel. I don't want to get the tank hole with the Warden, otherwise that's going to take like a million years. And then I put the King and the Witches on the other side of the funnels, sending my Super Wall Breakers to open that first couple of layers. Send the Blimp from behind with the Warden ability, so the Blimp gets all the way to the tank hole. And then I get my rest of my army going inside the base. I have a Jump that is going to allow them to jump through the center of the base and get rid of all of the major defenses. You still have a few freezes that you can use to either freeze Multi-Inferno, so you can freeze the Scatter Shots, Expos, whatever you feel like you need to freeze. It's perfect. Or let's say that your Blimp catches the Tornado Trap, it's not getting there, you can use that freeze on the town hall as well. And then here I'm sending the royal champion from 12 o'clock, just clearing some more defenses as my troops are moving down. Over here as well we had like 3 single infernos, so obviously I didn't have enough freezes to freeze them all the time, but we have more than enough troops to get rid of all of these defenses. Now the royal champion is just heading to the last compartment. Lassie thankfully tanks the single inferno, and that single inferno goes down and the base is wrecked, and now we just have to clean up. So that was the third attack. I believe I've got a couple more, just showing all the stuff that you can do with this army. So let's get to the next one. So over there in this base, as you can see, there's this massive elongated corridor in the center of the base, so I knew that's where I wanted to send my main army, because they're just gonna have access to everything. So I just put the warden at 12 o'clock just to create a bit of a funnel, put the king and the witches at 3 o'clock, then send my main army to go into that main corridor, putting the rage down. Now one little tip that I can give you, just try to make sure that your warden is not being hit by grand expos. If he starts getting hit by grand expos during a warden walk, then if he doesn't move away from the expos, the healers are gonna keep healing the warden and they will never move onto your main pack. If they don't move onto your main pack or your queen, they will die. So sometimes it's even worth it just using one of the freezes for the grand expo or whatever is hitting your warden, just to make sure that the healers do switch to your main army, and that way they can keep your main army healed up. Again, over here this base is not fully maxed, but it kind of gives you the idea of what to do, having the warden on one of the sides, sending your main pack in the center of the base, pulling from behind to go for the tank hole, and the king and the witches on the other side to create a bit of a funnel. Over here we've got the warden again, just creating a bit of a funnel on the left hand side. I wanted him to get rid of that eagle. Now this attack, it is a little bit on the slow side, so you don't want to go more than 1 minute on your warden walk, probably even 45 seconds. You don't really want to go for a very long time. It's not like the P.E.K.K.A. super wizard, like the P.E.K.K.A. smash attack. This one does take a little bit longer. The Yetis are pretty slow, the bullets are a little bit on the slower side, and they die pretty quickly as well, but you can take 45 seconds to 1 minute on your warden walk. Over here I got the eagle, everything is going in. Instead of a blimp, I decided to bring the log launcher. As you can see, we've got the jump, so that to get all my troops into that town hall compartment. Everything is moving down. We still have a lot of Yetis just moving south. I used the freeze for the tank hall and the expo. A lot of the Yetis do end up going into the tank hall compartment, so I decide to freeze it once again. We still have the queen alive. There's the single inferno on the right hand side, but that's okay. The queen can take the jump and go towards that single inferno. We still have the queen ability, we still have the royal champ ability, and we still have a freeze. So that's plenty of stuff that we've got that we can get rid of this last defense. Use the freeze, the defenses go, and we've got another triple with this attack. And finally, this base, as I said, this is like on my second or third day of Legends, so I'm really sorry I can't really bring you like max bases, but I don't know what's going on with Legends League, and even if I'm tripling everything, I'm still being faced with bases like this that you can clearly see that I think he created his own base. But the same concept happens where we put the warden on at 9 o'clock just to create a bit of a funnel and also get rid of one of the major defenses. Major defenses, I mean eagle, scattershot, or even infernos. If you can get rid of that, that's pretty much what you want to get rid of the warden, apart from creating a nice path. I use the Yeti at 11 just to create another bit of a hole there for my king to walk from 12 down to 3. I use the rage for the warden just to get rid of that scattershot and to not die from the expo. Now that he has moved from the expo fire, I'm happy I don't have to freeze that. I already super wall break so that everything goes inside into the eagle compartment, and I decide to bring the blimp since that town hall is very centralized, and I can put my jump on the right hand side so that everything else just keeps walking around the base while my blimp gets rid of the center of this base. So now it's just creating this donut, and now my troops can just walk around the base and there's not gonna be much damage on them at the one time, which is why I like this kind of approach as well. Yeah, they have to go through walls, but as you can see on this base, we don't have really maxed out walls, so that's fine. They can just go through it. We've got the royal champion, we still have healers, we've got the warden, we've got the queen with ability, and we still have a few Yetis still alive. Now we're just sending all of the witches just to create that bit of damage onto the buildings on the outside, and this was a nice triple against Rose. Well, that's the army. So it's my Yeti bowler attack. I do believe that this is going to be a very strong attack. If you have any other ways of using it, please let me know. If you did like the video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with more Clash. See ya.